You gonna say
Go,
one?
go, go.
Man, fuck you.
All right, go ahead.
No, fuck you. Goddamn.
What? You said it anyway. Okay. Well, all right. All right, man. Well, what is going on, everybody, man? What is going on? We are back with yet again another edition of NHP, man. Another edition of the Notorious Hills podcast. As I do not know how my glasses got this dirty. So, well, anyways, man, what is going on, everybody? Um, what is going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to another edition of NHP. Welcome back to another edition of the news, man. This is episode 229 of the news, man. And welcome back to another episode, guys. And thank you guys for joining us here today. We got a bunch of news to talk about today. And obviously, we're going to end you guys off with the Bash in Berlin 2024 predictions. As obviously that show is tomorrow night. So what would have been all out weekend is Bash in Berlin weekend, just Bash in Berlin weekend. So yeah, man. And with that, yeah, like I said, man, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NHP. And if this is your first time watching, you guys do not know how the show works. Every Monday, we're on here after Monday Night Raw with Notorious Unscripted, or with Unscripted. And with that, every Friday at 4 p.m. Central, we are on here with the news, man. So if you guys did miss this past Monday's edition of Unscripted, should WWE let Bo Dallas wrestle without the mask? That is episode 210. So if you guys did miss that, that is available for you guys on all platforms. That's Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and if you want to see it first, join us right here live after Monday Night Raw for Unscripted, man, as well as the post-show reviews for both WWE and AEW, which the All-In review is available on all platforms for you guys as also for the big pay-per-views. We are live, like I said, directly after the show, as we will be live tomorrow night with the Bash in Berlin review, man. So, yeah, with that, if this is your first time watching, man, and you guys have not got a chance to get your hands on some of the official NHP merchandise, you guys can now find this live on bonfire.com. Link is at the top of the description of this very video, where you could get the new t-shirt to commemorate the rebrand for the podcast, as you can see that on your screen right now. Like I said, man, commemorate the next chapter of NHP with the new merch, man, as you see on your screen. And with that, if this is your first time watching and you guys do not know who we are here at NHP, I am Johnny, one half of the host of this very show. And as for the other half, we got my man Sir K here. How are you, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Just been chilling out, man. Been chilling out. Been pretty normal lately, man. Got a good weekend coming up. So, got Bash. I'm excited. And yeah, man, I'm excited for this weekend. And it was a good week and it's gonna be a good weekend, man. So definitely excited for what was about to happen, man. But
Mm.
like Durante, always ask. How's life? How's the family? Life's good. Family's good. How is everybody doing in the live chat? Logan, Bell, anybody that comes up around today, obviously. Oh, everybody else, man. How's everyone doing in the replay? And what about you, bro? How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm doing all right, bro. I'm doing all right, man. Just excited for the Bash in Berlin weekend, man. I'm already seeing a bunch of interesting stuff going on over in Germany as we speak. I did see their little their pre Bash in Berlin press conference, the press conferences that they normally do before the shows, like a day before. Seeing clips from that, seeing clips from SmackDown, man. So everything looks pretty good, and hopefully everything goes along pretty well, man. I think it's gonna be a good show tomorrow. I think we're gonna get nice uh push into I was gonna say Bash Blood into Bad Blood. I think we're gonna get a nice push into Bad Blood, man. But yeah, bro. So yeah, I'm excited for the weekend, man. I'm excited to get out some good reviews to you guys, man. And yeah, just keep doing our thing, bro. So other than that, man, I'm good.
Oh,
As
yeah.
Durante always asks, I'm good, bro. Family's good. What about you, Durante? Logan, Bell, everybody else, everybody that is here now, everybody that is a part of the Replay Mafia, my guys JT and JB. How are you guys doing? And thank you guys for joining us as always, man. So, um, yeah, man. Yes. I'm not sure who they are, but as Logan says, man, rest in peace to the Gordreau brothers. Rest in peace, as well as obviously it's not a part of the news today. You guys know we don't usually report on personal matters like that, but yes, prayers to Nikki and her son. Hope everything is okay with them. So, yeah,
Definitely. For the best goes out to them.
definitely. You gotta fucking love wrestling fans, man. You gotta love wrestling fans. I'm seeing tweets all on Twitter. Oh my God, Nikki, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. What the fuck are you gonna do? I mean, are you serious right now? Fucking wrestling
Ugh.
fans, dude. I scrolled past. I'm like, dude, there's some pretty goated tweets in very serious situations by wrestling fans that are just, and then there's also the stupid ones. But that one
Mhm.
obviously falls in the category of like I'll never forget it, bro. But I just remember one day I'm scrolling on Instagram and I scroll past a tweet from or a post from Alexa Bliss, and some fucking half-witted fucking idiot of a fan in the comments puts in there, "How do you like her so far? How do
Talking
you
about
like
her
her?
child.
That's her daughter. How what do you think she's gonna fucking say? I don't really like her so far. Maybe I'll like her in a couple weeks." like,
I
like
didn't even
what?
like her so far. What?
So
The man, wrestling fans are something else.
I'm scrolling past a comment, man, on one of Nikki's posts, and I'm just scratching my head thinking to myself, oh, brother, what the fuck,
He's a
man?
wrestling fan, man.
Let me know if there's anything I could do to help. Like Nikki Bella is going to fucking slide into your DMs and be like, yo, man, I need your help, bro. Can you get over to this address right now? Like, wrestling fans. I mean,
Ugh,
I'm sure she appreciates you wanted to help her, bro, but fucking be for real. Um,
literally.
Man, golly. But anyways, yeah, for real though, man, prayers to her and her whole situation. Like I said, not a part of the news, man. You guys know we don't cover that kind of stuff,
No,
bro. It's just, it's just uh, I
fucked
mean,
out. I
yeah,
mean, we're not TMZ out here.
exactly. It's a personal matter. It's her personal stuff, but yes, man, absolutely, bro. Prayers to her and her child, man. So before we get on to the news, I wanted to show you guys. I showed you guys on Monday. I showed you guys on Monday, but I just wanted to go ahead and show it again. Um, I do have in hand a piece. As I got me a long sleeve and a short sleeve shirt version of the shirt, but I do have in hand the new merchandise for NHP. The final chapter
All
shirt,
right.
as you can see, the little logo in the corner. Like I said on Monday, my version's a little different. I got the whole entire logo on the back. For you guys, it would just be the skull because, we go to shows and stuff. So, I wanted people to, be able to read it off our back and whatnot. But, people get a couple back shots in at the show, be able to see the logo and stuff. So
Mm.
so yeah, man. But that is the new merch. That is the new merch. Just wanted to show you guys. In case you guys were interested, man. But that is the merch in hand. Feels great, very comfortable. Oh no. Okay. Golly.
Goddamn.
I apologize
And
for
on
that.
Friday.
Dude, I don't know what the fucking ordeal is, but it's got to be some sort of Friday curse. Every fucking
It's
Friday.
gotta be.
It's always the Friday show. This shit happens. I don't know why. It's always at this fucking time on Friday, but it's annoying. However, yes. So, yeah. Anyways, what I was saying, John Cena was gonna be a part of the news today, but they released a shirt for him that had his farewell dates on it, and you cannot read them whatsoever. So originally, I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cool. We can talk about the dates, but you cannot see the dates. And the image is incredibly blurry. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, man. So like I said, we're going to end you guys off with the Bash in Berlin predictions. But to start, we got some news here on the one and only Vince McMahon. Yes, he is in the news. He is in the news yet again. And it has been officially announced that Vince McMahon's documentary is coming to Netflix. Is coming to Netflix on September 25th. It is said that it includes interviews with McMahon prior to his resignation, his family, and some of his most iconic names in wrestling history, as well as the journalist who uncovered the Vince McMahon allegations. With that, the Sapp had this to say about I guess what this is mainly going to be about. He says the Vince McMahon docuseries will release on September 25th on Netflix. Mr. McMahon chronicles the rise and fall of Vince McMahon, the controversial businessman and co-founder of WWE, from his transformation of the WWE from a small regional business into a global entertainment powerhouse, to the explosive sexual misconduct allegations that led to his eventual resignation. The 6-episode series offers a deep dive into McMahon's life and his enduring franchise, culled from over 200 hours of interviews with McMahon himself prior to his resignation, his family members, business associates, and some of the most iconic names in wrestling history, as well as the journalist who uncovered the Vince McMahon allegations, filmmaker Chris Smith, the Tiger King executive producer, and Bill Simmons, 30 for 30, from 30 for 30, presenting an unflinching, no-holds-barred look at one of the most enigmatic figures in sports entertainment. We also got a statement from the director. We did get a statement from the series director and executive producer of the Vince McMahon docuseries, Chris Smith. He explains the goal behind the docuseries. He says, the goal behind Mr. McMahon was to pull back the curtain and reveal the true Vince McMahon, obscured beneath the persona he presented to the world. Over the 4 years of production, the story evolved in truly shocking ways, culminating in some extremely harrowing allegations. The final product is a revealing documentary that we believe offers a rich and nuanced portrait of the man and complex legacy he left behind. And with that, just in case all of you guys were curious, neither her representatives nor Janelle Grant were interviewed for Vince McMahon's Netflix docuseries. Just in case you guys were curious, because I felt people were going to want to see her, but no, she is not in there. As groundbreaking as that would be, Janelle Grant is not in the docuseries. As much as we all want to see her in there, she's not. As you guys can see, the official poster for the Vince docuseries, obviously, you see there from executive producer Bill Simmons and Chris Smith, the executive producer of Tiger King, Mastermind, Madman, Mr. McMahon. Only on Netflix, September 25th.
Um,
Okay, you've set the bar high. You've set the
yeah.
bar very high when you said that this is going to pull the curtain back on the true Vince McMahon and deep dive into who he is beneath. Into who he is beneath the person he portrays to us, okay? You've set the bar very high by saying that, because what I want to see is the truth. I want to see the truth. I want them to deep dive into the absolute piece of shit that is Vince McMahon. Now,
Mm-hmm.
it's 6 episodes. So I'm telling you guys right now, do not be shocked if there is episodes glazing him on the creation
Okay.
of WWE, because at the end of the day, no matter what you could say about him, you can't take away from the man that he created WWE, and that's something that we all love. I feel like we all
Mhm.
we all love WWE, and at the end of the day, no matter how shitty of a person he did create the company. So expect there to be video or episodes on just him and talk about. I mean, it does kind of say in there a little bit. They're going to talk about how he took WWE from a regional, a territory to, a global powerhouse or whatever. But as this gets deeper in, you've set the bar very high, and I'm very excited to see what they've come up with. I mean, like it says here, man, over 4 years of production, and yeah, like it says, they're going to pull the curtain back. They're going to pull the curtain back and reveal the true Vince McMahon. So, right there, you've set the bar very high, because wrestling fans know Vince McMahon through and through. Okay, wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
Either, man, either you genuinely include about everything we know about Vince McMahon, or this is going to be a fail, because I mean, I'm sure they're not going to cover every little piece of news, but all the major
Yeah.
stuff needs to be covered, man, because wrestling fans all know, and we also know when we're being bullshitted. And when you're talking about something with Vince McMahon, you're talking about 200 hours of footage, you're talking about again, peeling the curtain back, but you've set the bar very high, and you better deliver, because hopefully, man, like I said, hopefully they don't just completely ruin the hype for something that could be very good.
Exactly, man. This could be very telling. And like you said, wrestling fans, we know Vince McMahon. We know the piece of shit he is, so they better portray that. Like you said, I definitely think in those early, at least like first 2 episodes, it'll be a little glazy, if you ask me, more than likely. Um, and if they're, doing what they're supposed to do, those later episodes should, be very truthful about who he really is and what he really did. But I didn't even think about it till Bill mentioned it in the comments, man. That they're I didn't even realize that they are going to Netflix in a year, so maybe they don't want to expose too much bad about them. I didn't even think about it like that until Bill just mentioned in the
That's very true.
comments. They are coming to Netflix soon, so maybe this is all just talk to make both companies look good without actually making them look bad in like the corporate way. So I think it's a 50-50 chance. Either it's going to be a really good, genuine documentary that talks about, the shittiness of Vince McMahon and his story, or it's going to be one of those low key, they'll talk about the shitty things, but they won't really, like, get into detail or portray him as a shitty person. So I think there's two routes they could go, man. I think it's really 50-50 on that, and I really hope it's truthful, man. I would love for non-wrestling fans to view Vince McMahon the way we all do, is psychopathic piece of shit.
Out of
So I
touch.
hope
Yeah.
exactly. So I hope they do touch that stuff, like just and really just portray Vince as who he really was, man. So that's the thing. The fact that he's not involved, I feel like there's a good chance it might, but I really think it is 50-50. So we'll see when it comes out, man. But I'm curious, really curious to see how they, talk about all this because I remember, if I'm correct, originally when this document was originally starting to be created, like they said, like 4 years ago, it was originally going to be a Glazer doc, if I'm not wrong.
It
Then, like,
was.
I remember we mentioned that in the news when it first, got announced that it was being made, that it was going to be made with, like, originally it was going to be made with, like, Vince's team involved and whatnot. So I remember it was originally going to be a Glazer doc. And then they canceled it originally when, for the start of the allegations came out. And then they went back into production, and I guess they were getting what we're getting, man. So I'm really curious to see what direction they go, how truthful they are in hey, Vince McMahon. But I'm really interested, man. And I'll give it a peek for you, Bill. And I'll let you know if they're really being honest. Because I really hope they are. I hope the world gets to see the psychopath that Vince McMahon really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And two, the thing is I could see them burying him.
I could.
I honestly could, because I think at the end of it, if they really want to stick it to him, they'll pull the whole WWE was at low fan interest. Vince
Mm-hmm.
left, and in came the new administration, and now the company's at an all-time high, selling all these tickets, doing all this stuff. And then at two, this is a lot of the reason why TKO did want him gone, is because they did not want any bad press. So I mean, and like I said, even if they do get bad press because he did create WWE, unfortunately,
Part
that's
of it.
a part of life. That's a part of life that we're gonna have to live with. Is that the company we all love was created by a piece of shit, and nobody could ever take that away from him. It's like fucking Kanye West. All the horrible shit he says, nobody could take away from him. He's one of the greatest artists of all time. I mean, it is what it is. You may not agree with everything he says or does, but at the end of the day, he created Graduation. He's got all those iconic, my beautiful dark twist of fantasy. He's got all those iconic albums, just like Vince McMahon. He's done all this horrible shit. At the end of the day, bro, you cannot take away from him. He created WWE. He created a lot of the characters that we love. He's behind that. You know what I mean? So it's like, um, do we all like him? No, we don't have
God,
to. But at the end of the day, you can't take away from him that he did, create the company and whatnot. So that's something, that's something we all have to, all have to live with. But I do think that's why TKO cut ties, is because they do know that he started the company and stuff like that. But if the company has backlash because of him, they covered their bases. They got rid of him. So it is, they did everything on their end to make publicity not that bad for them. You know what I mean? And like I said, I can honestly see them at the end of the documentary pulling the whole, I could genuinely see them pulling the whole,
exactly.
he was, WWE
All this
interest
go.
was
Mm-hmm.
low or whatever, and then at the end they're gonna be like, yeah, a new administration, Vince McMahon resigned from the company, and now the company is at an all-time high. um Hopefully that's what I'm hoping for, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, but like I said, bro, we'll have to wait and see on how this looks. We'll have to wait and see on how
Mm-hmm.
this looks, man. But hopefully, man, it is hopefully it's hopefully they do the right thing, man. Because like I said, I just hope, all I hope from our point of view as wrestling fans, we don't get done watching this and say, man, they missed a
Yeah.
lot of stuff. They had a lot more of the real Vince to uncover. Um,
Like, even all the little shit of like back in the day, stopping the wrestler union, like that's the type of shit I want to see spread out through all the docs. All the little fucked up shit that he's done throughout his whole, career.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean I think yeah, I mean I think like I said, man, I think as fans of the product, I think that's what we deserve to see. It's just a matter of if we will actually get it or not, which
Mhm.
hopefully that is the case, bro, because like I said, you're not pulling anything on wrestling fans, dude. We all know damn well the kind of we all know damn well the kind of guy that Vince McMahon is, and again, like I said, you're not pulling any fast ones on us, bro. We know exactly who he is.
No,
So hopefully,
exactly.
um, that's the thing too, though. That's the thing too. Their Dahmer series was very good, and they
That was legit.
yeah, it was legit, man. It was so legit. I wanted to see them deep dive into more serial killers because it was just done so fucking well. It was done so well in telling just that story. But uh, we'll just have to wait and see, man. But it's definitely an interesting topic, and I am excited to see it. And we will obviously, we'll probably end up watching it Bad Blood weekend.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Because that's
probably.
like right around. That's like probably about a week and a half
After.
after it comes out. Is Bad Blood. So, I'll probably watch it that weekend. So, on the Bad Blood review, we'll probably tell you if there was any bad blood in the documentary or not. Um, so yeah, man. Yeah. Hunter, my man, please hey, be prepared. Be prepared for them to glaze him. I just because like Sir K said, originally when this doc was being created, it was going to be solely
With
to
the
glaze the man.
Glazer. It was literally working with him and his direct team. And it was literally going to be a Glaze doc. And I feel like I feel like at least like the first early episode or two is going to be really glazy because it's going to cover, the start of his, takeover and whatnot and all that shit. So I feel like at least the first two episodes are going to be very fucking glazy. So we'll see how it goes, man. I just hope it's truthful, man.
Yes, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I definitely think so, man. I definitely think so, man. But yeah, hopefully not too much. Hopefully not too much.
Hopefully.
However, however, um, so yeah, man, that is the news on the Vince McMahon doc and everything going around with it, man. Man, I did see that they did release Elite 13 or Elite 113. Um I'll probably have to be picking up that Punk for sure. However, I want to know what the From the Vault Bray Wyatt is. Which one
Mm,
is? I wonder which one that is because the Elite 112 has the one that was supposed to be in the pack with Matt Hardy, but then it ended up never coming out, so they just never came out with the figure until now. But I wonder what the From the Vault Bray Wyatt is. I'm very very interested to see how that works. Or what that
very.
is. Because I know I'm definitely grabbing that Ultimate Edition whenever it comes out. The one of him from the what was it, the blackout match or the pitch black match um
Yeah.
against
Oh,
LA
dude.
Knight. Definitely going to pick up that one, but I really want to know what the From the Vault Bray is for sure. For sure, man. So yeah, that is the
Definitely.
news on the Vince McMahon doc, man, and Janelle Grant not being involved. Unfortunately, she's not involved, as expected. But yeah, man. So that. That is that. So what to go over next? Hmm. Well, you know, from one guy that wanted to be glazed to another, we got to talk about the ultimate glazer.
No. Huh, no. Oh, God.
We got to talk about the
This,
ultimate, the Mr. Glaze, right? Everybody's
the
favorite
Glaze
glazer.
himself.
Exactly. The Rock. We got to talk about The Rock, man. According to WRKD Wrestling, they are reporting the ongoing plan right now reports that The Rock versus Cody Rhodes is more likely for WrestleMania 41, which would then it is more likely for WrestleMania 41 than The Rock versus Roman Reigns. The Rock versus Roman Reigns could be at WrestleMania 42, which is rumored to be in London. Okay, well, first of all, I wonder how that would work with SummerSlam. If SummerSlam were to be in London, I wonder how that, unless they do different venues, unless they do
Yeah, I
different
see them doing
venues,
different venue. I don't think
unless
they're gonna Tony Khan it.
unless they do like, I don't know how many stadiums you guys got, Bell, but unless they do Wembley for SummerSlam and then they do
Something
another one of
else
your
for
guys'
me.
stadiums in London for another one, unless that is the case. But what do you make of all this, man? And what do you make about us having to deal with the Glazer for at least? Because you know after that Roman Reigns match, he's probably retiring. Well, he
Oh
does
fuck.
love to glaze himself, so he might come back because he can't get enough of himself. But hopefully,
Well, if anything after that match, he'll do an Undertaker retirement where if Vince pays or not Vince, God no. I still got that man on the brain, my bad. Triple H or WWE like is wants him enough. He might do a random like Saudi match or something. But I think that would be where he like retires. But oh man. So this is either gonna go two ways. Obviously, it's gonna be back-to-back manias. So that's gonna be fucking fun. Technically, like our good friend last night said, technically that'd be three manias in a row.
yeah.
Be fucking rock. Oh good fucking lord. So either we strike lucky, which I don't think. I think it's like a 80-20 chance that an 80 is the bad one and 20 is the good one. 20% chance Cody loses a title sometime before Mania, and the title doesn't involve, the Rock, Roman, Cody stuff. But 80% chance it does involve the title. Cody keeps the title to WrestleMania, loses it to The Rock, which he's gonna fucking do. I think we all know that. And then Rock is gonna hold it for a year till that WrestleMania for Roman. Even though I feel like Roman wouldn't want that title after that. I feel like Roman would be going to Hollywood straight after that. So I think there is a chance that maybe somehow Rock to Roman, the title gets involved. Maybe, hopefully. But either way, we're gonna get back-to-back manias involving the Ultimate Glazer. One's gonna be Cody, other one's gonna be Roman. And I just feel it's weird because I feel truly that Cody is definitely going to lose it to The Rock. But I don't think Roman would want to win it at 42 because, I mean, I feel like he'd be out the door damn near by then. So that's the weird dilemma I'm in. But I think it's a fact of life at this point that Cody Rhodes is going to hold that fucking thing till WrestleMania to lose it to the final boss. Um, and then the final boss is going to do what he's going to unify it with the Glazer title. We're going to have fucking this and that. It's going to be a fucking summer to imagine. It is. I actually can't wait for that summer for multiple reasons. But it's going to be interesting because I feel like that's where we're going to get. It's kind of scary and it's kind of annoying. That Rock. That's the thing. I like Rock. I do like having him around. He's fucking hilarious, dude. But
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want him to get overexposed. Back to back manias like that, man. Because this mania season, it was fun with him. We had the old Glazer, the final boss, all the fucking jokes. It was great.
Yeah.
it, there's a chance that he could be overexposed as final boss and whatever post next WrestleMania. So I hope we don't get that, but it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be fine watching it more than likely, but it's still at the end of the day just taking up a spot with that title and really fucking up Cody's title reign. But it's a weird situation, man.
Definitely. Definitely, bro. Yeah, man. Hmm. I definitely hear what you're saying. I definitely hear what you're saying, bro. And I have, I've said for a minute now that Cody is almost guaranteed losing that championship to The Rock. It just seems like a foregone conclusion. It seems like a foregone conclusion that he will lose the championship to The Rock. Like I said, man, I mean um and like you said too, I do like having him around, man. I think he's a great presence. I think he I mean, with his name value, I think he just brings a
Hilarious.
lot of legitimacy to what he does. And on top of all of that, the cherry on top of the cake is that he is fucking hilarious. He is hilarious how much he loves himself, how serious he takes himself. It is just, I mean, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like watching The Rock take himself so fucking seriously he can't even help himself. But man, so Cody, I mean, it like I said, it honestly just seems like a foregone conclusion. He's gonna lose it to The Rock.
I mean,
How is it a
look at his
foregone
title run.
conclusion? The Rock, man, I know he said, I'm gonna, what did he say? Whether you have the title or not, you really think Rock's coming back and not feuding for the title? It doesn't
Like,
make any sense at all, but this is The Rock we're talking about. And would it be the right thing for Cody to lose it to somebody else? Absolutely it would.
yeah,
This is The
it's the
Rock.
Rock.
We're talking about the same guy that wanted to fucking beat Roman Reigns for his championship and then relinquish the title the next night.
Like,
Um,
look at Cody's current reign. It's just It's just nothing after nothing with each challenger. It's no
yep.
one you're thinking is gonna win. No one that has a chance to beat him.
Yeah.
It's building up to The Rock, dude.
Yeah.
Rock's gonna beat him. It is what it is.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Triple yeah, if Triple H had
It
his
does.
way, WrestleMania would have looked a lot different. It would have looked
Fuck
a
yeah.
lot
Oh,
different. And it
I mean,
probably
we
wouldn't
could
have involved
Google
The
it.
Rock. Um,
Oh, fuck yeah.
but
Rock would
Triple
have taken a relationship the next night. I'm telling you that.
yes,
Which maybe that's what he does.
yes, and but the thing is, Triple H has to book around to
Hmm.
the Rock's needs. That's the fight here. That's what we're trying. That's what poor Paul Levesque has to deal with nowadays. But
At the end of the day, Logan, his nickname is the final boss because at the end of the day, he is the final boss. He technically is above Triple H. It's only because fan reactions that Cody got his moment at WrestleMania. If it wasn't for the fan outcry, it would have been The Rock, baby. So eh, Triple H don't got too much fighting power when it comes to The Rock at the end of the day, sadly.
and even if there was fan outcry, The Rock said it himself. The
He
decision was
didn't.
up to me. It was up to me. It wasn't up to Triple H. It was up to him. So we're lucky Rock did the right thing because he very well could have been like, fuck these people. I'm doing what I want. He very
Well,
well could
lucky
have.
Rock made that decision.
But the thing is, man, again,
He still
Cody
above all.
Cody's had great matches, okay? But his title reign has failed to have a challenger
Real challenge. Hmm.
that you think is legit enough to beat him. The only guy other than maybe Orton, but I could see Orton wanting to put Cody over.
I would definitely see that. Yeah, I don't see Orton wanting to put himself over in this age.
Yeah, I at the very most I see them pulling a Drew McIntyre where Orton wins it for maybe a month or two
Well,
and then Cody just wins it
yeah.
right back. Um the Cody's final boss is the final boss.
The final boss.
And if The Rock really loves himself as much as we all know he does, I could absolutely see The Rock taking the title from Cody Rhodes and then wanting to drop it to one of his family members. Whether
Oh
it
yeah.
is Solo, whether it is Roman, whether it is Jacob Fatu, we don't know. But
Jacob.
hopefully that would be legit as fuck. But
It's gotta be Tom Loa.
You know that I'm probably gonna hang my hat on that one. I'm probably gonna hang my hat on that one, man. I'm saying The Rock drops the title to the infamous Tongaloa, but if we have The Rock and he beats Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41, Roman, man, it's gonna like our buddy told us yesterday. It's gonna be very hilarious to see The Rock main event 3 WrestleManias in a row. That would definitely be a Rock thing to do. Um,
Oh yeah,
and if he does go up against Roman, whether if it's for the title or not, if it's for the title or if it's for the title, I could see Roman getting the title back, having a short reign because he's going to Hollywood, having a short reign and him dropping it to one of their family
I can
members.
do that. Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Solo's first world title, whether it's Jacob Fatu's world title, whether it's infamous Hangaloa's
Yeah,
first world title, we don't know. Um,
I
but
think the
I
more likely two would be Jacob or Jay. I see Solo as like number three option in that equation, if I'm being
uh,
honest.
I could, yeah, I didn't even think of Jay to be honest. I could see one of those three. I could see one of those three,
Yeah,
but I honestly, dude, if WWE still looks at Solo in as high as regard as they used to, I mean, he's up there with Gunther. That's the last thing we heard as a future piece of the company. So I don't know if they still are going by that mindset or what. But I could, yeah, you guys are right, man. I appreciate you guys calling me out on that. I honestly did not even think about Jey Uso, bro. But, anyways, if The Rock goes on to hold the title and Roman gets it, I could very well see Roman holding on to that title for a short reign, and then the reason why I'm saying Solo or Jacob is because I could see this being the end of the tribal chief character, and this is where I could see Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns to then align himself with somebody new, like
Mhm.
Solo or Jacob, whoever it is. I could see, or maybe, I mean, I know a lot of people want Braun Breaker to be the next Paul Heyman guy.
Right.
Maybe it's a guy not even in the family. But regardless, if Roman gets a hold of the title, if Roman beats Rock for the championship to, proclaim himself as, the ultimate tribal chief of the family, I could absolutely see Paul Heyman being the reason Roman Reigns loses the championship to then send him to Hollywood. I could absolutely see that being the case. And I could absolutely see that being the case. But it looks like we're going to, at least judging off the rumors, it looks like the Ultimate Glazer is going to be around for the next 2 years at least for WrestleMania season. And he's just going to come, even though he says he's here and wrestling's great because of him again, he's only coming back for Mania season.
Just for Mania from like February 2nd, whenever the Royal Rumble is, to fucking night after Mania, and he's out. He's out for the year.
Yep.
Fucking Ultimate Glazer, man. We'll see how it goes, man. But I really think let's throw that hat in there, man. Cody's losing fucking Rock at WrestleMania. It's obvious,
Yeah.
dog.
It's very, very obvious, 100%. Nobody there's nobody that, again, there's up until this point, man, unless somebody gets crazy, crazy over, which the way
Yeah.
SmackDown's going, it doesn't fucking look like it.
Oh,
I mean, there's nobody. There's nobody that could go up against Cody Rhodes right now, today, that I can look at and say that man is a legit threat to beat Cody Rhodes. The only reason
mm-hmm.
the only reason people want Orton is not a lot of it is not because people want to see Randy Orton win the championship. It's because that is actually a really good story that they could tell. It's
It's
not
just a good
because
story that I can tell.
exactly. And I'm excited for it. But again, I'm not excited
Oh,
for it
cool.
because I want to see Orton win the title. It's because it's because it's because of the rich story and because I need to hear the legacy song in their little video package. What a banger! What a banger song that was. I'm sorry, Belle. I'm sorry. She says there is hundreds of stadiums in the UK. Are there any that are bigger than Wembley? Because whatever that is, I could see WWE going there for WrestleMania.
I think Wembley's their biggest, but I think there's one that might be. I think there's a few that might be like close behind. We'll look it up.
Well, when is WrestleMania 42? Is that in 2026?
What's the stadiums in London? Yeah, one at least the biggest. The next one is Wickenham Stadium with 82,000. So
What
yeah,
does
so there's
Wembley
one that's
hold?
close. 90,000.
Holy fuck!
Massive. Fucking massive. But yeah, they got
Damn.
some decently close ones. They got one, two, three. They got four that are over 70,000. So they got options.
Hmm. That's
Fuck.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you, Bill. You're always, especially with all this London news lately. You're definitely great to have around. Always, always, always. So
They have 259 stadiums in London. You weren't lying when you said hundreds. Fuck.
damn.
Obviously, the lower ones are like 5K people, but still.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Alrighty, man. Well, moving on. Moving on here. We got more news on WWE, and speaking of the final boss, we got something that was stated by one of the other bosses in the company. Not the final boss, but he is a boss in the company. Mark Shapiro. So, according to WrestleVotes, the WWE Performance Center will be moving to Las Vegas in the near future. They are all in on Las Vegas, man. There
It
was
was
an
Vegas.
yeah, there was an all-employee meeting today at WWE HQ in Stamford, hosted by Mark Shapiro, where he informed, where people were informed that the WWE Performance Center sometime next year will be moving to Las Vegas, according to a source. Um, so, um, I don't know if this is going to require the WWE hub to kind of be in Vegas now, because we all know, you know, it's not just WWE's Performance Center that's in Orlando, but it's sort of the hub is to
Yeah.
where, WWE kind of requires you to live there. WWE kind of requires you to, live there, and they require you to just kind of, mainly be there in case they need you for whatever. So I wonder if that's going to move, and I wonder if they're going to then shift that to now only I wonder if it's going to be only the Performance Center and the NXT talent needs to report to Vegas, or if their talent hub needs to be in Vegas, or if they can stay in Orlando. What I'm assuming is everything's going to Vegas. I'm assuming everything's going to Vegas. I would assume. I don't know. I don't know if Florida's just not. I don't know if Florida's not in the trend anymore. I don't know if Florida's not in the trend anymore, or if they want. Oh, there. I don't know if Florida's just not in the trend anymore, or if they just want to, or maybe they want to get out of the bad weather, I guess, or the hurricanes or whatever they get over there. I don't know what the case is, but regardless, it looks like they're moving, and man, that is good. That if they are, which I'm assuming all the talent is going to be required to be over there. I just know that is going to be a pain in the ass for everybody to find a house and move all at the same time. I mean,
Right.
man,
And
I
it,
mean, ooh,
and it sucks too, because I feel like, in my personal opinion, I feel like Florida would be the easier place to, live and find a nice place than Vegas. You know what I mean? If I was one of those PC guys, I'd be pissed if I'm being honest. Like Vegas is a nice city, but that's a vacation city.
it's a party
That's
city.
a,
Matt Riddle would
that's
have
a
loved it.
party. Fucking man, Riddle would have been fucking itching to go back there.
Man, Damian
But
Priest is going to be loving it now.
yeah, I'm sure he'll be there with Matt Riddle. But it's one of those things where it's like I'd probably much rather live in Florida. That sounds easier. That sounds better. And as they're kind of more upper Florida, so I don't think they get like hurricanes all the same as like the lower Florida does. So like I really don't get the move, man. I'd probably be pretty pissed if I was one of the PC guys that gotta move out with it. Like, I don't know. Not for me. Wouldn't be for me. I would definitely choose Florida over Vegas. personally. So we'll see how it goes, man. But it's kind of rough for all the people involved. It kind of sounds like a pain in the ass for no reason, really. Like, why? Why move it? You're already there. What? I don't know. It sounds like a pain in the ass. Not only move the people, but the performance center itself, all the rings. You got to assemble all this, all that, and it's just weird. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't see the benefit to doing it, but they're doing it, and I feel bad for a lot of those guys.
Yeah, again, man, that's got to be a pain in the ass. So damn near every wrestler that is employed to WWE lives in Florida now, and I just can't imagine making all of those people, move uh, roughly around the same time. That's got to be something. That's got to be something rough, man. That does not sound fun. That does not sound
No.
fun, bro. But um, if I were to choose Florida or Nevada, I would choose Nevada, but Vegas, somewhere in Nevada that's maybe, a little bit more remote, maybe away from the city a bit. I mean, again, Vegas is
Yeah.
a vacation city. You know what I mean? Nevada doesn't sound all that bad. Like, Nevada, I'm sure there's somewhere in Nevada that's, maybe a little more off site, maybe a little more remote, maybe a little more, just a more of an intimate setting. Vegas just seems like too much to have a
Yeah.
workplace out of. I know UFC does it there, and I'm assuming that plays a big role in why they're doing that. Um, but
The thing is, the UFC, they're not always there. Like wrestling is every week, every like month, damn near. But like with the UFC, they have what a pay-per-view every 2 months. They're probably not in those gyms fucking every day
yeah,
like the wrestlers are going to be. So it really sounds like a pain.
yeah. But another reason they're probably trying to do it, they probably want to get a just a stay at home venue for
Yeah.
NXT. They want to get a stay at home venue. And, Vegas, there's always somebody on vacation in Vegas. So they probably figure they're going to get a lot of tourists, and that's going to, that's going to attract a lot of money for them in terms of the weekly NXT product. So I could see that, again, playing another part into it. But the moving part sounds like an absolute nightmare. The moving part
Mhm.
sounds like an absolute nightmare. But I guess if you're looking at it for entertainment purposes, it's probably not the worst thing. But just me personally, I would again, I would look at somewhere maybe a little more offsite in Nevada, not necessarily Las Vegas. It just seems a little too
No.
big and bright lights for people that should be training to be professional wrestlers. Um,
No. Partying all day.
exactly. So yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be um
Interesting. I'm sure.
yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. And yes, NXT should definitely it'll definitely get interesting to see what happens with NXT and kind of what they do with the venue and stuff. So, yeah, man. That is the news on the WWE Performance Center moving to Vegas, man. Also, more WWE news. According to Variety, the new WWE announced teams starting in September or Monday. The commentary teams or the announced teams starting in September on SmackDown. It will be Michael Cole and Corey Graves, which is interesting because that is their PLE announced team.
Mhm.
So I wonder if that's going to switch at all. And the team for Monday Night Raw will be Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett. Man,
That's interesting.
that is very interesting. And with that, they also did note that Pat McAfee does plan to reunite with Michael Cole on Raw in the beginning of January when they move to Netflix.
Hmm. I wonder
So,
how that's gonna work with Netflix.
so they they must have a lot of faith in
I
Joe
was gonna say,
Tessitore because I would have thought they would have put him with Corey because Corey's got a lot of experience. But
Mm-hmm.
putting him with Wade, which Wade is not a bad commentator by any means necessary, but if you're looking at the main roster commentators, Pat, Cole, Corey, and Wade, Wade probably is the lowest ranked, and that again, that's not saying he's bad by
No,
any means. Wade
he's
is actually very good, but it's just I figured they would have want to put Joe with somebody with a bit more experience. I thought they were going to put him with Corey Graves. It seems like they're putting him with Wade Barrett, so they must have a lot of faith in him, which means hopefully they would have already heard the man. So hopefully everything goes well, and I am excited for Monday because I'm very excited to see how he does.
I'm very excited to see how he does. Like you said, I gotta have a lot of faith in the guy to just basically, in a way, I thought he was gonna be paired with either, one of those two, Michael Cole or Corey, and he's just with Wade. So we'll see how it goes. I got faith in him, so I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Yeah, I think hopefully everything goes well, and I'm like I said, I've heard his voice. I think his voice is great, and I think his voice is great, and I'm excited to see how he does. And am I a little scared? Yes, only because no, Joe will not be on commentary for Bash in Berlin. I'm a
No,
little scared only because of, and this is no fault of his, but only because of the bad commentators that we've got switch in and
the
out
history
throughout
of
the past 3 years.
mm,
Man, I mean Kevin Patrick, uh, Ardnan Verk. I mean, how
oh,
fucking horrible was he? He was probably the worst of them all. Um, Jimmy Smith. I mean, Jimmy was
he had some
okay,
bad.
but overall he was pretty bad. Um,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's just scary with the history we have.
definitely. But I think Joe's going to be okay, and I would like to see if he is any good. I would like to see their premium live event team be Cole, Corey, and Joe. I think that would be nice. Because like I said, I like his voice. I've heard his voice, and I just hope it fits well to the professional wrestling. You know, I just hope it fits well to the professional wrestling product. Because again, Jimmy Smith, he was a contact sport commentator. He moved over to WWE. The transition did not go well. It did not.
No,
I don't know what the hell Adnan Verk was doing, but God bless that man because he was ass, bruh. He was horrible. Yeah, very bad, very very bad. Was Adnan Verk. But yeah, but gotta get a bigger boat. I'll never forget it. God, I'll never forget that. Oh God. But yeah, man. So he was bad. He was very bad. But hopefully we can turn over a new leaf and get some good commentary. But we'll be hearing him on Monday, so I'm excited.
definitely, man, definitely. I'm excited and curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, man. More WWE news. Saudi Arabia. So we did get the news a couple days ago. We did get the news a couple days ago. According to WRKD Wrestling, they are reporting that WWE is set to hold an episode of WWE Raw at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia later this year in November. Now, ever since then, we did get the update that the chairman of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, Turkey Alashki, has announced that WWE will be taping an episode of WWE Raw the night after Crown Jewel on in 2024. Obviously, I don't know why they put that in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The episode will be taped on Sunday the 3rd and aired on Monday the 4th of November. So, if you guys remember a couple weeks ago, probably like a month and a half ago at this point, we did tell you guys that WWE was trying to get cleared taping Raw after premium live events on
If
Sunday,
that's the test.
so they did not have to, fly somewhere and be all jet lagged for Raw on Monday. And it looks like it did get cleared, and it looks like this is going to be the test. And I hope this is only for Saudi shows because taped Raw just does not sound good. It just doesn't.
No,
Um, I,
it
I,
really
I,
doesn't.
I hate tape shows, and I think obviously a live program is always going to be your way to go when it comes to these sort of things. But that we'll just have to wait and see. That we'll just have to wait and see how it's going to go. But I can guarantee you it's not going to go well, even though I'm sure it will probably go very well for the talent because, as Bell says, they don't got to get on the plane, they don't got to rush home, and they don't got to rush home and then
Alright.
yeah, be all jet lagged at Monday Night Raw, sitting there looking like they just ate a perk, eating their catering, so that I'm sure helps. And that I'm sure is going to be a lot better for the talent. But from a fan's perspective, the Raw is probably going to be, I mean, it's a tape show, so it's probably not gonna be the best Raw of the year if I had a guess in it. But yeah,
No, 100%. So it's gonna be their test. We'll see how it goes. Probably won't go great TV wise. Um, don't love the idea. At the end of the day, as long as they don't do it after main pay-per-views, um, I'll live with it. If you want to do it for those international shows, even though those are fun and those are fun to, want the Raw after, that show too. As long as they don't do it for the big shows, I could live with that system. But we'll see how the test goes with the Saudi one.
definitely, man, definitely. Moving on here. Moving over. Moving over to some contract news. First up, we got a lot. So first up, Fightful Select is reporting that Nikki Cross signed a new contract with the WWE. This is very interesting because I'm surprised they put her in the faction without her not signing a
Yep.
new deal. Because what happens if
Yeah,
she would have just dipped?
when but would have just had to explain in a video that she's out or something. Like I have no idea, but I mean, good for her. She's in the group, so she'll be sticking with the group, man. So very interesting that they allowed that. Usually they don't, so very interesting.
Definitely, definitely, man. Yeah, happy to see her stay. I think she's got a lot to offer in the Wyatt Six, and I hope that they do well by her, man. I hope that they do well by her. I mean, it looks as if sooner rather than later we're going to be seeing her in the ring, uh, doing some stuff with Ivy Nile. At least that's what it seems
Also,
like. So
mhm.
yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see her back in the ring, man. But with that, more news. According to, on contracts, man. According to Sports Illustrated, back in May, Kevin Owens revealed that his current WWE is set to expire in the early part of next year. He tells the Takedown on Sports Illustrated that the only change in his contract status since he left is that now there is less time on the deal. And up until this point, he has not re-signed with the company. So obviously, we all know in early 2022, Kevin Owens signed a 3-year deal. I believe it was in about March. So if he's saying there's less time on the deal, I'm assuming that means that he is maybe up around February or January. And uh, yeah, up until this point, he has not re-signed. So it's going to be interesting to see, man. But overall, where do you see Kevin Owens landing in all this? You see him.
Overall, I
You
think
see him going to Wednesdays, man.
if it was pre or pre Triple H regime, probably. I think he was at a not younger, but not as older as he is now, point in his career. So maybe if it was like his 4 year, 3 4 years ago, maybe probably. But at this point, even if he wants to, I don't see him going over there, man. I think it's just I think it's just an age thing. Like I said, I think if he was younger, he would maybe, step over there for a contract. But I don't think so. I think he's staying, and yeah, I think he'll resign.
Yeah, definitely, man. I absolutely see. I know a lot of the AEW fans, man. I know they're gonna be really upset. I know they're gonna be upset at Kevin, and I know they're gonna be. I can already see towards the end of the year. I can already see us getting Kevin Steen as all elite graphics. No, I I thought if Owens did not go in early 2022 when AEW was extremely hot, probably coming off their hottest run, and they were probably about 2 months away from having the honeymoon phase of AEW be done and gone and dead forever. If Kevin Owens didn't go then, I would not bet on him going now, to be honest. I do see him staying with the company. I did. He recently said on an interview he feels he has about 5 or 6 more years of time left, in the ring. So if everything goes according to plan. He says he's got about another 5 or 6 left in him, man, and I think he's going to be staying with WWE. I think he's a Triple H guy. Triple H loves Kevin, and yeah, like I said, I think he's a Triple H guy, and I think he likes where he is in WWE. I think he likes the money that they pay him, and I think I think he likes what he's doing. And I absolutely see Kevin staying with the company and being
I
a
do.
WWE lifer, especially now more than ever because it's under Triple H, and like I said,
That's his boy.
yeah. So, um, yeah. So that is that. And speaking on more contracts, man, but actually jumping over to Wednesday nights here for a second, AEW. According to PW Insider, Daniel Garcia is under AEW contract through October and remains in discussions with the company. However, as of now, he has not re-signed a contract.
It's good news, man. It's good. And I mean, I said it when we watched that fucking media scrum. If he would have re-signed, pre all in, for all in, um, Tony would have not shut up about that on the media scrum. The fact that he didn't mention that at all, I knew he didn't re-sign yet, and I'm glad that's been confirmed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Garcia should really really try to really think it out. I think he should really think it out
Mhm.
on what he should do because it's a tricky game, man. It's a tricky game, and I do think if you were to get him in NXT, he's not even one of these guys like Hook that you have to train how to wrestle and you have to train how to talk and you
No,
have to train how to, be himself.
he can do it. He's
Daniel
there,
Garcia,
bruh.
he's literally already there. All he needs behind him is a machine that is willing to
Hmm.
push him and is willing to make him top priority. And I think he's got a better chance in NXT than AEW, to be honest. I
I think
think
so.
I think Tony's booking is just too wishy-washy. And again, his best friend is Carmelo Hayes. Look at what that system did for Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is already on the main roster. He's already developed. He's already on the main roster. He needs to find his way on the main roster, and I think he'll get there due time. That kind of shit takes time. It
Exactly.
does. Um,
And I think also, some people, he's at the end of the day, he's on SmackDown. Kind of hard to find your way on
yeah,
SmackDown.
exactly.
So I think it's mostly a SmackDown thing for Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, it very well could be. It very well could be, man. But also too, I can't even, I can't even fully say it's a show thing because Carmelo is a heel. They could absolutely be building this guy up for a short little feud with Cody Rhodes in the fall. You know what I
That'd be
mean? But
great.
it's all up to them to do it. Will they do it? Probably not. But I
Hmm.
could see Carmelo being one of the guys to take the title from LA Knight. He's kind of got a story from with LA Knight. He's kind of got a story with the guy. They kind of have a bit of a story, kind of,
Mhm.
just based off of, sort of, I guess, based off, or kind of when Carmelo first got called up. He had the thing where he was being the cocky young guy, and LA Knight was one of the first people that kind of took problem with him. So overall, it's like I said, Carmelo could very well be one of the guys to take the title from LA Knight. And, again, case in point, look at what the system did for Carmelo Hayes. Daniel Garcia is one of Carmelo Hayes' best friends. You know what I mean? He's been on BTE multiple times talking about his buddy
Literally, yeah.
Christian. Obviously we all know Christian Casanova is Carmelo Hayes. So, he's always talking about his buddy Christian. He's always talking about how he misses his buddy Christian. He was on AEW Media talking about how he misses his buddy Christian. A couple earlier this year, or earlier last year, I think. I remember. But anyways, he's seen what the system did for his boy, and I think it would be really in his best interest to at least see what WWE has to offer him. Up until this point, the last thing we heard is that people in WWE do believe he's going to remain with AEW. If that's the case, I really hope it works out well for Daniel Garcia, and I really hope he signs a short-term deal to see what
Yeah.
they have in store for him. And if they don't have anything good in store for him, he's on a short deal so he can get in and get out quick. Because um
Definitely.
because I mean, this young in your career, I would not want to waste time. I would want to develop and move above, or move higher up in ranks as fast as I possibly can if I were a guy like Daniel Garcia. So I hope man, that I hope that he just really, really thinks about what's best for him. And I'm glad he is not signed with AEW yet. And I'm glad he hasn't jumped to it. If I'm Daniel Garcia, if my contract's up in October, I'm honestly letting the fucking thing expire, and I'm waiting to hear what both
Yeah.
company has in store for me.
Exactly. I'm weighing both options. I'm looking to see what they want to do with me. And then I'm making my decision from there.
Definitely. And with that, another guy in AEW that has re-signed with the company is actually a guy that just lost the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. According to Fightful Select, Swerve Strickland has re-signed a contract with AEW, and his new contract with AEW is a multi-year deal that will keep him with the company until at least 2028. The exact duration is unknown. The deal is considered one of the biggest deals in company history. Thus, according to Wrestling Observer Newsletter, the Swerve deal is believed to be amongst the biggest deals in pro wrestling. And it is said to be on the same pay range as Kazuchika Okada and Mercedes Moné.
God damn, that man throwing a little bag.
And with that, we did get some comments, I guess, from people over at WWE.
Oh,
So according to Wrestling Observer Newsletter, according to those at WWE, the AEW deals that were offered to Daniel Garcia and Swerve Strickland, which obviously we know Swerve has signed, Daniel Garcia has not, they are considered to be bad for the sport because the offers are so far over what WWE what WWE perceives as the market value for both Garcia and Strickland. Well, first of all, obviously WWE are going to say this is bad for the sport because they don't want to fucking pay that money, but they want those guys.
fuck yeah.
So obviously WWE is going to say it's bad, like I said, because they don't want to pay anywhere near. And Tony is known to be an overspender. Okay, Tony is very known to be an overspender when it comes to his talent, but If that's what he thinks Swerve is worth, it's his fucking
For
money.
him. Hmm.
It's his money. And again, if I just don't want to see Tony have these kind of things drive his company into the ground. But
Yeah.
if he's got the money, then I guess if that's what he thinks these guys are worth, then he's gonna open the checkbook, and of course WWE's gonna say it's bad for the sport because they don't want
Oh,
wages. They do not
to
want
go up.
wages to go up because they don't want to pay for these kind of people. But what I'm assuming WWE means by this is like if Swerve Strickland got Roman Reigns money, they don't. I'm sure they look at Swerve and say he could be a top guy, but is he a Roman Reigns? No, Swerve is great, but he's not a Roman Reigns. He's not a transcendent to the business kind of talent in the way that Roman Reigns is. Swerve is great. Swerve is a great talent. But if he's getting paid Roman Reigns money, I could see why WWE thinks that because, Swerve Strickland is not worth what Roman Reigns is worth. Swerve is great. He's just not worth what Roman Reigns is worth. And that's just what it is. But of course WWE is going to say it's bad for the business or whatever because they don't want to pay it. Again, if that's what Tony wants to spend his money on, spend your money, bro. Spend your money how you feel it's worth. Just don't fucking drive your company into it. And that's what concerns me because with the more top guys that AEW gets, I don't want to see more guys be like, well, I want Swerve. Well, it was
Hmm.
originally, I want what Punk is making. Okada comes in. Now it's okay. I want what Okada's making. Okay, now I want what Mercedes is making. Okay, now I want what Swerve is making. I hope Tony cuts it off to a point and he just comes to the conclusion not everybody can
Only
be the
three
top
people.
paid guy.
Exactly. You have your select top guys that you keep in your circle. You pay them that big money, and the rest of the people get normal contracts. And I think this should be a sign to start letting go of people that you're not using. That
Yeah.
in the end of the day, you're wasting money on all those random people on the roster that you never use that aren't really valuable to your company anyways. Just just can them, dude. At the end of the day, I know the world won't be happy with that one, but at the end of the day, not a pandemic anymore. People can find work, and I think it's best for your company to let a lot of those lower tier people or just mid tier people let them go, man. Let them go. I don't think you need them because that's just the way Tony Khan works. He likes paying a good amount of people money for the people he likes and the people he values. And hell, great for Swerve. I'm so happy for that man.
Yeah.
That not only does Tony Khan see him as that like Okada money level talent, but I'm sure in the next coming year there's going to be at least like 3 or 4 more people that get those level of contracts. And they good for them, ball out. But for Tony Khan's sake, he's better be careful, and he better not let people guilt trip him into getting those level of contracts because he gave it to Swerve because that's what he thinks is Swerve. Fucking random person on the roster better not demand that money and Tony Khan folds. Stand your ground. Give that money to who he thinks is that valuable. And for the other people, let them get normal contracts and tell them, hey, you want this? Prove to me that you're this to me so you can get that money. Let it is because it is good that that Tony Khan kind of raises the standard a little bit for pay in wrestling. It is good. It's good for the
It
wrestlers,
is.
but it's also bad for egos. So you gotta
Yeah.
put in a line where if you want to make this level of money, you have to earn it. Now normal Tony Khan contracts are still at the end of the day really nice. I mean, I wouldn't be complaining from a Tony Khan contract. So it's one of those things where it's like you have your standard, keep your standard, but these big ones make that something to work for, make that something to yearn for, and make people prove it to you that they need that money because it'll only make your show better and your money making better when people are trying to prove that they can make you money. It's a good system that'll bring him far in money. So Good for Swerve. I'm really happy for Swerve. Man is great. Glad he's gonna be sticking with them. Tony Khan values the fuck out of him. He wasn't lying on Wednesday when he said, he'll get it back one day when he was talking about the AEW World Title. It's a guaranteed he'll get it back at some point in his career. Hell, no, Tony Khan. I don't know if we're doing this. It's probably in his contract that he'll get it back at some point. I wouldn't be shocked with Tony Khan. He did
The
it with
Hogan
fucking
clause.
Soraya. He really does. He fucking did it with Soraya. I mean, it wasn't ever confirmed, but I would literally bet my life savings on it that he did that with Soraya, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
why she won that fucking thing. So good for Swerve, but just use this as a fighting point for wrestlers to earn that level of money because I feel like there's gonna be like 3 or 4 more people in the next coming year or two that's gonna get those, Okada, Swerve, Mercedes contracts, and let those people be of that value because like you said, like Triple H said, he doesn't value Swerve in that light. I mean, kind of stupid of me by now. I think obviously is like you said, it's Swerve Roman Reigns. I wouldn't say that, but I love Swerve. Swerve's a fucking immense talent. Wish Keith Lee was also there with him, but I
Yep.
digress. But pe- people gotta like I said, people just gotta get themselves to that point, and I think that'd be a good system for Tony Khan because you got people in there that I think can work their ass off and prove that they're in that level, but Tony needs to allow them to do it. Like a Darby Allen. I think Darby Allen is that level of talent. I think he could, Tony Khan allows him to, which I think we have, good standing on that. But even just other people that Tony Khan doesn't use that much, that I think has that swerve level talent that he sees in Swerve. Malachi Black. You had Andrade. Again, now he's over on SmackDown. But you got people. Use them accordingly. And it's got to be a two-sided thing where both sides have to prove to each other that they value each other, that they that the wrestler values AEW and they want to be there for the company, and that Tony Khan values those fucking wrestlers because he's not always great at showing that either. Well, I'm glad for Swerve, and I hope this makes a good system that that not everyone's gonna get that contract. You gotta earn that fucking contract. And I'm glad Swerve earned that fucking contract.
Absolutely. And I think another thing Tony Khan should do to avoid the egos is a tier system.
Mm-hmm. Take
So,
it too. Yeah.
so again, so for example, if Tony Khan is making these contracts and you get a guy, I'm gonna just use his name as an example because we all feel so sorry for the man. Malachi Black. If Malachi Black comes to you and he says, I want your top contract. If I'm Tony Khan, it's guys like that where you got to honestly start looking at yourself and saying, am I throwing a bag at him just because I want to keep him away from WWE or just
Mhm.
because I actually
Very
have the
yes.
want to use him and utilize him to his full potential? Odds are you're just doing it because you want to keep him away from WWE. And
Mhm.
you honestly got to start looking at yourself and you can offer him, okay, I'm going to give you our third tier contract because this is what we see you as, this is the kind of talent, and this is where you are on our television show. Leave it for him to decide. Does he want to take the money and stay, or does he want to go over to WWE, maybe make a little less money if Tony Khan, or maybe make about the same money and actually be creatively happy? Now, again, to avoid the egos, if Tony Khan, I think if he were to make a top guy contract and set it as that, I think that would be the way to go. So, for example, if Tony Khan were to set something as um, $30 million over the course of 5 years, that's like six million a year, right? That's your top guy contract. That is it. I'm not saying the minute MJF gets mad and goes and cut scathing promos, you're going to raise it because you want to pay. No, that is
Yeah.
how you avoid egos. Again, if you want to set your top guy and you only give that contract to a couple guys on the roster who you think are top guys, I'm talking Brian, Swerve, Max, Okada, and give me another name.
I would say Omega, but he's kind of too hurt to be at that level, in
Kenny
my
Omega.
opinion.
We'll use his name as a John
Example.
Moxley. Kenny
Yeah.
Omega and John Moxley, okay? Those are your top guys. That's it. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, again,
Mm-hmm.
the minute a guy gets mad and said, "Well, I want 32 million or I'm leaving."
Deuces.
I'm offering you
See you.
30. If the 2 million really matters that much to you, you're obviously in it for the money and you don't want to be here and you're trying to squeeze money out of me to be petty. Again, if I'm Tony
Exactly.
Khan, I'm setting a limit. If they say, "Well, I want this," I'm sorry, I don't do that because I don't want to drive my company into a financial fucking hole. If that, to me, is a way, if I were Tony Khan, to avoid the ego factor, to avoid the, "Well, I'm better than this guy in the ring, so I want to get paid this." I'm sorry, this is my top guy contract. This is my top tier contract. Again, for example, $30 million over the course of 5 years at $6 million a year. That's my top guy contract. If you don't fucking like it, then then go to WWE and fucking have fun trying to get them to pay you $6 million a year.
Get the fuck out of
Because
here.
unless you're Roman Reigns,
Yeah.
that ain't fucking happening. So you could take
Well,
what my talent pool, or what my talent pay grade offers, or you can go to WWE and you can take the 4 million and you can do better creative or whatever you feel that they have to offer. That's what I do if I'm Tony Khan. And then you get a guy like you get a top guy to leave because they want to make this and they don't want to abide by your talent pay limit. Then another guy can step up.
Then you got a new fresh talent that is a fresh face in that level to the fans, which will bring more intrigue and more watchers to your company. It's only a benefit to you at the end of the day. So it's a good system as long as Tony Khan uses it right.
However, that's not the case, and he's probably going to be continue to be stepped
Oh,
on,
he's gonna be
and
spitballing this shit out.
yes, and he's going to continue to dish money out as please don't go to WWE money. Um,
And this
so
man's gonna be throwing that shit like he's at the vanilla unicorn dog. This man is gonna be tossing that bag.
So our next story, a guy like Miro. Imagine Miro comes to you and he says, "Hey, I want 20 million over 25 million over the course of 5 years. That's $5 million a year." A guy like that, you really got to look at yourself, Tony, and you really got to say, "Am I going to pay this guy 2, 3, $4 million a year over the course of 5 years and I'm not doing anything with him and I'm just shilling this money out to keep him away
Fair.
from WWE? Or do I let him go?" And oh fucking well.
Oh well, boy. I like Miro, and that's a loss, but it ain't a $20 million loss at the end of the day. So I'll eat it. I'll eat that loss. Like you gotta be coordinate with who you're giving the money to and whatnot.
Exactly. So again, are you going to continue to pay Miro $1 million, $2 million a year? And if he gets upset and he says, "Well, I want 3," you could just tell him, "Look, dude, you could take the 1 or 2, or you could go to WWE where they'll probably offer you $800K a year max. It's up
Exactly.
to
And you'll
you."
get your 750K and call it a day. So which one you want, buddy?
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, it's definitely something I think Tony Khan should look into because again, if these deals are as crazy as the people from WWE think, that's fine and all. I just hope Tony Khan doesn't continue to, "Now you're the highest paid. Oh, now this guy's a, oh, now this guy's a, oh, hold on, now this guy's the highest paid." I really would hate to see Tony fall into that hole. I really would, for the company's sake. But again, higher wages. That's great for professional wrestling, and Swerve absolutely deserves that tier of
Fuck yeah.
contract. Daniel Garcia, bro, if you're offering him something crazy as fuck, I'm sorry, that is keeping him away from WWE money. You've done
Just to
nothing
do it.
up until this
No.
point to make me believe that Daniel Garcia should be even close to top guy money.
No. Hell no.
I'm sorry. But If you look at him in that way, and if you want to use him in that way, go ahead. But to offer him this, man, I don't know, bro. That sounds like keeping him away from WWE money, unless you really plan on turning over a new leaf with the fucking guy starting now.
Literally starting right now.
Shane, oh yeah, man. And that's the thing too. How much is he gonna pay Shane McMahon? You think that's gonna piss people off? He's probably gonna pay Shane a lot. That's probably gonna piss a lot of people off in the company. Even though you let these AEW fans tell it, all of a sudden Shane McMahon is supposed to be like the saving fucking grace in this company. I don't know where this came from, but all of a sudden he's supposed to be the man. I mean, he is supposed to be the man all of a sudden. I don't know where this came from, but apparently, man, according to these AEW fans nowadays, he's going to really fucking turn the company on its head, man. He's going to turn it around for the better, according to them.
Fuck it, man. These AEW fans.
Man.
There's something else, man. There's something else.
Yeah, so anyways, now that we're done using Miro for our examples, and again, just got to reiterate, Malachi, Miro, all the guys we just used in examples, just fucking examples, bro.
Don't get too personal, guys. Good lord.
PW Insider is reporting that Miro is back in the United States after being in Bulgaria for some time. There is no word on when he will be returning to the ring.
Hopefully when he's come back, he's used in a good way. That's all I can say. I mean,
honestly, bro, he's one of these guys in AEW, dude. You're wasting money. You're wasting money. And it's not his fault. It's Tony's fault. It's Tony's fault he wasted his own money. But at the end of the day, facts are facts, and they don't fucking care about your feelings. He's wasting his money. I mean, dude, and again, it's Tony's fault. You've signed this guy. You've dropped the ball with him more times than I can fucking count. And at this point, dude, do you even fucking bring him back? I mean, I'm asking the same question. He had one good run, so very similar to Wardlow. He had one good stretch of a run. After that, dropped the ball with him. You've tried numerous times after that. You've failed to gain any sort of intrigue or just anything around the guy, and you've dropped the ball with him multiple times, and it's done. The run is cooked. Yeah, the run is cooked, bro. It really is. Again, do you even bring him back? I don't know, man. I really don't.
No, I don't know what you do with him at this point.
I know, at least from the rumors that I've heard, Miro is one of these guys that they don't really like backstage in AEW because he has a problem with bad booking. And they have the perception of him that he's one of these ex-WWE guys that's only here for himself. Dude, if that's the perception you have of him, just fucking let him go.
Exactly. Let him go back to the place he wants to go back to at the end of the day.
Yeah. And if that's not the case, and if the rumors aren't true, use them and try your best. And if not, then I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Shane, it's tough, dude, because my buddy was telling me this the other night, and it does ring true. The only good Shane could do for AEW is what Cody did and add a sprinkle of sports entertainment and a sprinkle of the way WWE does things. But dude, they have so many ex-WWE people in higher positions in the company, and it's still not that way.
Be a problem.
Exactly.
Not gonna change.
So Shane McMahon being the saving grace of AEW, I don't know where this comes from, because if my memory serves me correctly, when Shane McMahon was on TV just a couple years ago when he was the best in the world, people fucking hated him. So, you know, and I mean, people said the same thing about a lot of people in AEW. Saraya is going to be the leader of the women's revolution. It's going to put AEW's women's division on the map. Oh, Mercedes is going to be the saving grace of the women's division. All of them have failed to do that. So, It goes back to what me and Sir K uttered years ago. You will be great in AEW if AEW wants you to be great. Case in point, Keith
Mm-hmm.
Lee and Swerve Strickland. Who did AEW
Exactly.
want to be great? Could they have both
Swerve.
been great? You fucking bet
Oh yeah.
your ass they could have been
Oh
great.
man. But
Who
they
ended
only
up
saw
being
value
great?
in Swerve.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So Tony Khan sees value in it, who he's a fan of. That's just how AEW works. You have to be loved in management for it to be great. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So Shane McMahon being the saving grace again. The only bit of, you know, the only thing I could really see him offering in AEW is a bit of that WWE touch, similar to how Cody was, where, again, he was a sprinkle of WWE, which is what they needed. So they felt like a mainstream super indie, similar to NXT, just on a bigger scale.
Mm-hmm.
And with Shane coming into the company, I could very well I would like to see that. I would like to see him be that for AEW. But again, dude, they have so many ex WWE people in higher positions behind the scenes. Having a sprinkle of WWE shouldn't be the problem. So what? Tony's supposed to listen to fucking Shane McMahon all of a sudden? If Tony don't want to listen to you and he wants to do his own thing and
Man,
book
that's
for the sick fucks or whatever he calls them,
sick
then
fucks.
he's gonna fucking book for the sick fucks. He's gonna book for the markout demons. I mean, that's what he's gonna do, and he's not gonna listen to anybody. I doubt, unless him and Shane end up being best friends, then I doubt he's gonna listen to him too. And I just don't expect Shane McMahon being a saving grace to AEW as people do. And I don't know why
No, I
people
don't
feel that
know.
way.
I really don't know why people think it's going to go down like that.
Uh, so Miro's not back in the States yet. Again, if you bring him back, okay. If you don't bring him back, okay. I don't.
Yeah, I
It's
don't care.
at this point. I'm at the point where I am with Wardlow. They bring him back, all right. They don't bring him back, all right. I have no emotion. Please, well, Wardlow's case is a little different because I want to see him in WWE. Miro's case, I mean, I would love to see him in WWE. I'd love to see him in AEW, but great. But I just don't know what they're going to do for him. And in WWE, I don't really know what they do for him either.
Exactly.
I mean, you could have him feud with Damian Priest. Man, that'd be a little interesting. If fight for CJ Perry, but
Yeah, God. Yeah, I
so
remember the world wrong.
oh, dude, yes, Bell, dude, Miro in Japan. That would be
Oh,
the place
yeah.
for him. I'm
Beast
saying
over
this.
there.
I'm saying the same thing for Dijak too. I want to see Dijak on a Forbidden Door card.
Oh, 100%.
And Miro going against AEW, a place that fucking did him so wrong. I think that'd be
Perfect
pretty
story
hard.
to tell. Mm-hmm.
Miro going against AEW on a Forbidden Door card.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be nice, man. That would be nice. So speaking of more things in AEW regarding the World Heavyweight Championship situation, man. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, the idea of Darby Allin beating Bryan Danielson for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship has been strongly talked about. So we brought to you guys last week that there were heavy conversations to put the title on Darby. We all know he won Royal Rampage, so he's going to be getting a title shot at Grand Slam here in just a couple weeks. Could he be the one to end Bryan Danielson's reign already?
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I could very well see it. Or I could see Bryan winning at Grand Slam, but then Darby getting the shot at
Yeah.
Wrestle Dream since it's in Washington where both guys are from.
I can see it. I could definitely see it. I would love for Darby to be the one to beat him. I really would. I hope that's the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Darby would be great. I think Darby would be great to beat Brian. I think again, I said it last week, but I do honestly think Brian probably sees a lot of himself in Darby
Both.
Allen. They're both from the state of
Mm-hmm.
Washington. They're both, again, smaller, underlooked guys in the business. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Brian,
Passionate as hell, creative.
exactly. Oh, the whole 9 yards, bro. But again, Darby is one of the guys that I'm sure, again, Danielson looks at and sees a lot of himself in. I'm sure he does. And, um, I could very well see Brian wanting to drop the championship to Darby. So yeah,
Definitely, man. Definitely, I could see it, and I really hope that's the case.
yeah, and that'll be a great moment. I think it's a long time coming for Darby Allen. I think if we're looking at pillars of the company, I think I knew that was coming. I knew that was. I could already see the memes when Darby Allen wins the world championship. Oh, this is what the AEW champion looks like. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
dude. Shut the fuck up.
Like,
I
dude,
mean, not every world champion needs to have the fucking stature of Obafemi. Okay, Darby Allen.
literally.
Darby is sure. Darby's a smaller guy, dude. Darby is literally same thing as Brian Danielson. Since we're on the topic, the guy has the audience's heart. Okay, so you could put the championship on as many Goldbergs, but 1,000 Goldberg title reigns would not amount to one Darby Allen title reign because Darby has passion for the business, and sure he's a
Mm-hmm.
smaller guy, but Darby Allen has our hearts. He does. His story has our
Exactly.
hearts, and Goldberg, again, your
He
champions
has a
can
heart in the worst way.
yeah, Goldberg again, he can be the champion. Goldberg can be the champion all he wants. Or guys that look like Goldberg can be the champion all they want. But just because they look that way does not mean that they should have a world title
It's
on them.
special.
Look at Adam Cole.
Just
I mean, literally, look at half of the fucking black and gold world champions.
they were all small guys, and they were all fucking some of the best champions ever. Like, dog.
Brian Danielson himself. Um, yeah, Darby Allen. Darby Allen was one of two names that well, the list would have had three names if one of the guys was booked correctly, Mr. Wardlow. But Darby amongst Brian Danielson was one of the two names I threw out to originally dethrone MJF. Again,
Mm-hmm.
Wardlow would have been on the list if he was booked correctly, but you know the cookie
He
didn't
was
crumble that way. Um, but no, Darby Allen's absolutely world championship material. Anybody that says Darby Allen is not world championship material, I think is an
a
idiot.
dork.
Clearly you don't know his story and everything that goes along with Darby Allen. Clearly you do not know that because if you did, Darby Allen, I mean, again, he just exudes that. For just very Jeff Hardy. He's very Jeff Hardy like in the terms of just people just gravitate towards him.
Exactly. So I think he has it, man.
And how could you say he's now world championship material when he's probably AEW's best TNT champion?
Oh, he's their best TNT champ. He's their best pillar. Like he, come on, guys.
The more time, yeah, I would originally, hmm,
It's
yeah,
tough. I think
I would st-
I would say it's if you're looking for AEW, he's their best pillar. The one that like
very true.
exudes AEW the most. They're I'm not saying MJF isn't any of those things, but like an AEW pillar, he is. MJF is just great in general. Well, you're looking for someone that's like inherently tied to AEW, it's definitely Darby.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah, he is definitely the AEW.
Very
I never imagine him leaving AEW as long as AEW's around. Um
no.
so and again, Darby deserves it. Darby deserves it. But out of the four pillars, there's only two left. Okay, and yeah, I mean the other two,
Three,
no, two.
Jack Perry,
No,
come
no, no,
on,
no,
the
no.
scapegoat.
Perry is good. Perry is very good. I'm not trying to
No,
throw shade at Perry, but Perry is not a pillar of the company. That's
no,
just
he, he's
if
fine. I like the guy, but he ain't a pillar.
yeah, he's great. He's great. He's upper mid Carter great, but he's not a pillar of the company. I'm sorry to say. And again, not to take anything away from Jack. I think Jack is very good. I think Jack gets a lot of slack for
He does.
nothing. Or
Just,
for, well, not for
yeah,
nothing, for getting choked out. Well,
the
obviously, we all know that.
things around him.
Exactly. But overall, Perry is,
I like the guy.
yeah,
I do. It's just he's just kind of goofy sometimes, man. He's a scapegoat. You know what I mean? So let him go be the scapegoat because
yeah.
he already two pillars.
Everything in life has a price. How much does it cost?
$7.
$7. Seven
To
US
go to Taco
dollars.
Bell.
It's Luke's box. Um,
$7.
man. But no, yeah. I mean, again, anybody that, and I know it's coming, and it's gonna piss me off, but I just, this is why I stay off Twitter. But Darby, uh, Darby is world championship material, no question. Darby's been world championship material.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, Bell. Sammy is not a pillar. Sammy could be an ROH
No.
pillar all he wants. I'm sorry. Sammy did not pan out. And
Yeah.
Jack, again, Jack is good. And I think if any, honestly think, man, again, Jack gets a lot of slack for nothing. He
Yeah.
does because he got choked out. You know, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, man. Come on. Don't laugh at Jack. Don't laugh at Jack. It's okay. It's okay. He
Uh,
just got
he
choked
did get
out.
choked.
It's all right,
Just
bro.
choked a little bit.
He was doing his Punk was doing the responsible thing. He was just, he didn't fight. He just choked somebody out a little
Just,
bit.
just
Um,
to choke someone out a little bit. Shit happens.
exactly. Is but
Like Sammy, he's not a pillar. He's a pillar to his own demise. That's all he is.
Jack.
And Jack
See,
Perry, like we said, he's good. He just doesn't. AEW doesn't need him. At
he's
the end of the day,
yeah,
it wouldn't be like, damn, they lost, Jack Perry. But if Darby one day decided to go, to the other side, that'd be a fucking shock. That'd be a
yeah.
shock to that
Same with
AEW
Max.
company. Exactly. So that's
At
what a
this point, I
pillar is.
fucking wish he would have left,
Fuck,
Mister
I wish he would
America,
have.
Mister
Mr.
Lex Express
America.
over here.
And
Um,
just has a whole American gimmick and then just denounces the whole gimmick. Yeah, we'll talk about that one day. Fucking hell.
anyway, but no, and see the one thing I respect about Jack Perry, the Jungle Boy gimmick, he shed it and he moved on. He evolved.
He
And
evolved.
honestly, he's a
He
lot
went,
cooler now. I like this version of Jack Perry. Everybody can make fun of him for the fucking stupid ass goat mask and all the stupid shit, but again, he's a good wrestler, bro.
better.
And he just seems like a
He's
good guy
good.
overall. And he is a lot better off since changing the gimmick. He is.
He is. He is. Jungle Boy was nice. I think they did end it too early. I think they should have slowly evolved his character. But at the end of the day, he could do what a lot of other people say they can't do. And he fucking evolved. He changed himself. He changed everything about him. And he's still there. And I think it worked, man. Like I said, it's things around him. Fucking production fails. Fucking ex-coworkers. Whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, he actually changed and evolved and was successful overall. And he's a captivating figure in AEW. You can't deny that. He's one of those guys. People either love him or they hate him. A lot of people say that about a lot of people. And when they so usually say that to people, I'm always in the middle about those people. Like, I mean, they're fine. I like them. I don't dislike them. You know what I mean? But for a lot of people in this community, they either hate Jack Perry or they fucking love Jack Perry. And hey, that he did something with that, I guess. You got to say that.
Yeah. I mean, he's had, he does make people feel. I guess
He,
at least you feel some way about him as opposed to Sammy Guevara. But the thing with Jack, and I do agree with Bell, they gotta get over
Punk
just
stuff. They
using
got
Punk. That's got to be the next evolution of his character, is moving the fuck on. Because again, I hear a lot of people say, well, he's going into Chicago as a hated figure. Every time we go to Chicago, it shouldn't be about Jack Perry because fucking CM Punk choked him out. I mean, dude, we
exactly.
gotta. Punk has moved on. Do you see Punk making jabs? Do you see Punk, making, subtle, you know,
Oh,
choke out references and all this type of stuff? Do you see Punk? No, Punk's moved on. Punk has moved on.
you
He's in
know,
WWE. Perry's got to move on. He's got to drop all the Punk references. Eventually, the scapegoat nickname's going to have to go away, even though I'm a little pissed. That was one of my ideas for a fucking shirt. But any fucking way,
literally. Like
serious.
American, man, that's the fucking scapegoats and
Yeah,
now. Jack
right.
Perry had to get choked out and fucking took it. But like you see a Punk, the only time a Punk ever makes a reference to that stuff is to himself. He'll make it like, yeah, who would fight their coworker? It's always directed at himself. Who would fight their coworker? Shit like that. He
Yeah.
doesn't fucking make references to the actual people and like shitting on them. And I think that's what Jack Perry. That's all he. That's really all he needs to do is shed that shit, shed the fucking the CM Punk shit, and I think he'll be way better off without it.
I think so too. But I mean, in terms of the evolution of his character, man, I mean this Jack Perry is better than Jungle Boy, plain and simple.
He is.
Um, but yeah, man, I mean it. Yeah, I mean it. I don't know. I honestly think, man, I think that's the next step in the evolution of Jack Perry. Whether we get there, whether we get there tomorrow or we get there in a year, I think over time you do need to develop him dropping all the CM Punk references, because at the end of the day, bro, you can't continue to just piggyback off of CM Punk choking the guy out. You know what I mean? Move on. He moved on, so move on. You know what I mean? And at
Hmm.
that, I think Jack does have potential as an upper mid carder in the company, and maybe one day a world champion, maybe. But at
I
the end of the
think
day,
so.
at the end of the day, the evolution of Jack Perry has been positive. Over time, though, they just
It has
have to
been.
drop the Punk. They just have to drop
The Punk
the
stuff.
Punk stuff. They do.
They have to. Exactly.
So, anyways, Darby Allin is world championship material, and I'm standing on that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
10 toes. 100%.
Absolutely. Moving
I
back on to
mean,
some WWE news, bro. Before we move on to the Bash in Berlin predictions, um, let me just make sure. I don't believe there's anything else that's dropped since we've been live. So, with that, our final news today Dominic, or Jack Perry.
ooh, that's tough.
Hmm.
I think by default, I kind of have to say Dom right now. But I think with overall potential, I think that might go to Perry.
Uh, Man,
It's tough because
that's
they're both
interesting.
really good. That's an
Yeah,
interesting. That's a tough because
in
they're very
ter-
close in vibe.
in terms of potential, I think in the ring, I think Perry's better.
Yeah,
On the mic, I think Dom is better.
I think
That's
so.
pretty neck and neck. That's a good question. That's a good question, Bill. I think Dom is better on the mic. I think Perry's better in the ring. I think character wise, I think Dom is better. Overall, I personally would probably give, in terms of potential, I would probably say Dom.
Dom is really one thing that Dom has over Jack Perry is his quickness to react to something. React to something, he'll
Yes.
make a joke, he'll make a little, and he's really good at that. I mean, I didn't watch it, but I saw clips of his, interview with Logan Paul. That shit had me rolling when he was joking about Japan to Logan Paul. That shit, he was quick with that shit. That shit was fucking hilarious. And Dom has that like quick reactivity when it comes to like just talking and mic work that right now Jack Perry doesn't have.
So that's the thing. I'll have to see Jack Perry minus all the Punk references. The
Exactly. Exactly.
scapegoat, the nobody believed in me, everybody wanted to, everybody brings up, everybody still, Darby just did in the promo before All In, everybody still brings up all the bullshit Perry pulled. It's like, dude,
I
can we
don't
get him
care.
on, can we get on from this? And can we add, and that's the other thing too, the scapegoat and the evolution of Jack Perry. I wish it had a different reason for happening other than CM Punk.
Oh, it should have been fucking Christian and Luchasaurus tied in, not CM Punk.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Really should have been tied to
100%.
those two.
hundred
And
percent,
the fact
bro.
that they don't ever interact on TV is also a crime. They should, because at the end of the day, they should be the reason for his heel turn,
Yeah.
but they're not.
Yeah. But I would have to
Because
see
CM Punk,
I would have to see how Jack Perry is, with that kind of stuff. Because again, Jack Perry's, he does have great heel reactions when I've seen him wrestle in Chicago. And what does that fucking say about it? And I mean, overall, what are his reactions really? The one time I've seen him, time I've seen him, wrestle, in Chicago, the one time at that New Japan show, the one time I've seen him react quick, he's just doing a bunch of Punk moves. He's doing a bunch
his
of Punk
Punk
moves
stuff.
and he's flipping off the crowd. So it's just like, overall, I would give the edge to Dom in terms of who has more potential. But I do think Perry has potential. I
They're
think
just
he's
good.
I think he's far behind. I think he's not far behind. I think he's not far
I think it's
behind, but
just
mhm.
surroundings and situations that makes him so far behind.
Exactly, definitely. But Dom too. I don't know if you've seen on the Logan Paul Impulsive, but he reacts quick to stuff, and he's just a very funny guy. Like there was a Mike asked him a question. Who would you rather choose? Your work wife, which at the time Rhea Ripley, or your real wife? And Dom just looks at him and just goes, "What?" Dude, it's so funny, dude. But overall, man, I would give the edge to Dom. But again, I got to see how Perry is as a heel, shedding the Punk stuff, because Dom has shed the Rey Mysterio stuff. Now, from time to time, he mentions his deadbeat dad, but that's not the whole crux of
Not
his
the crux.
character.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean his character is just being an asshole. And that again, not
You know,
everything revolves around his dad, like how everything revolves around CM Punk.
same way for a while, he had the, the whole little, I'm a criminal stuff. And it was going to get old. So they slowed that down and kept it as a background part. He's not every week saying, I'm a criminal, this, that. That happened. It was really funny when it happened. And they turned it down because time evolved. And now it's just a reference in the past.
Yeah,
That's what you
and
got to do.
now again, now we've kind of evolved to yeah. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh,
The
yeah.
story with Ray and Dom is not over, but I'm saying
That's
Dom
the whole
doesn't solely make, like, I mean, you look at now. Now, what is the drive behind Dom being an asshole? It's him betraying his family. His, the
hmm
Judgment Day. Dom and or
Yeah.
not Dom, Damien and Rhea. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm not saying the story with Ray and Dom is over, but
Well,
again, that's not all they use. Similar to how Jack
it is
Perry.
all they use, Jack Perry.
Exactly. But anyways, moving on here. According to Fightful, the shorter premium live event match cards are expected to continue in WWE, and WWE have been happy with how they have turned out. The company say it helps them stack Raw and SmackDown, which is essentially helpful when they run SmackDown in the same city the next night as the premium live event, similar to what they're doing now with SmackDown in Berlin and then Bash in Berlin the next night. Um
I like the system. I don't love how they're going about it. Because at the end of the day, I do like the system of even out your pay-per-views and spread it a little more evenly through weekly television because Look at early days AEW. They did that shit, and I think that was the perfect system between a mix of pay-per-view and TV. You randomly had a big TV match, and actually it was really cool to see, and you cared. Now they fucking way do it fucking way too fucking much. But like, look at early days AEW, that was a really good balance. And I think they want to strike the balance with this system. I just think they're putting the wrong stuff on certain things. Like they got they're not putting men's tag team wrestling on pay-per-view, but they got the women's tag titles on the pay-per-view. It's one of those things where it's like you have a good system, you're not picking and choosing the good things to put through that system at the right times.
Yeah, so I'm assuming this story is coming out because WWE is has been under I guess under a bit of pressure by fans to add 6 or 7 matches as opposed to 5. Which obviously now we're getting this coming out, which WWE is again happy with the 5 match card. I think it would be fine, and I think fans would complain less if they didn't put stupid shit
Bullshit.
on the card,
Mm-hmm.
because the whole point to shorter, premium live event match cards is to get all the meaningful stuff and only the meaningful stuff on the shows. And for the most part, they do that, but there's always that one match,
That's
usually
just like, why is
on
this?
the card, that's just like if you look at Bash in Berlin, and the same thing with Clash at the Castle, there's a women's tag title match on the show. So you mean to tell me you haven't had the men's tag titles on a fucking pay-per-view because you don't think their division is good enough, but you fucking think the women's tag division is worthy for a pay-per-view? All that says to me is that is the Jade and Bianca effect, because they only put them on the card when Jade and Bianca are in the match.
Oh fuck yeah.
You're giving preferential treatment to Jade Cargill. That's what that tells me. Because DIY and the Bloodline, DIY and Bloodline wasn't good enough for fucking SummerSlam or for Money in the Bank or for Clash at the Castle or whatever the fuck. A DIY match wasn't good enough, but a women's tag title match was.
Kind of bullshit to me.
Logan says it best for Bash and Bro. You mean to tell me you just had Uncle Howdy debut on Monday Night Raw, but
Oh,
you have Unholy Union versus Jade and Bianca on this card for Bash and Berlin? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
rhetoric. When it shows you obviously don't care about like putting people, of that country on the pay-per-view because if you did, you can't use that excuse for this match because by that logic, where's a Dragunov match?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
Where's
actually
LA
cared about
Knight's
that
Open
logic,
Challenge to be answered by
exactly,
somebody from Germany?
exactly, dog. So you can't use that fucking excuse when you have the bigger stars from that place not on there. Obviously, Gunther's on there, but he's already the world champ, so that doesn't count. Um, but like if you if I'm putting anybody from that country on the show, I'm putting Dragunov over fucking Unholy Union.
Oh,
The fuck?
100%. 100%. Yeah, obviously, I was really looking for some. I know Kaiser's from there too, but I was really looking for somewhere for something for Dragunov. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
he he basically grew up in Germany or spent a lot of years in Germany. From what we know, he spent a lot of years growing up in Germany. So I would have loved to see him there. But again, I think this would matter a lot less to people if there wasn't that one dumb match on the card like there normally is. I mean, again, a lot of times we do see these women tag title matches, or we just see these matches, at least one match that nobody cares about. And it's just like, if you were to put Chad Gable and Uncle Howdy on this card above the Unholy Union versus Jade and Bianca, that's 5 matches that everybody cares about. And as opposed to having 4 matches and then one match that is the piss break for everybody in the arena. So, I mean, I think it would matter a lot less. And I mean, I think it would matter a lot less to people if, like I said, they just had 5 matches that everybody cared about as opposed to 4 and then one match that nobody gave a shit about. So, um, other than that, I mean, it does help them stack the SmackDown before the pay-per-view typically, man. But at the end of the day, dude, I mean, just, again, you don't have to worry about adding 6 or 7 matches if you just have the match that people, if you just have 5 matches that people genuinely care about and not the Jade and Bianca pity match on the show. So,
Exactly.
but also, too, I do like them staying at 5 because, you know, I do like them staying at 5 matches because it takes away from the long pay-per-view cards, and WWE for SummerSlam and WrestleMania is moving to a 2-night system anyway. So we're going to be getting 10 match cards, 5 on each night anyway, which is perfect. So I think we'll be fine
Exactly.
there.
I think that'll balance out everything even better. So I say they
Yeah.
stick with the 5. I'm glad they're happy with the 5. They just gotta use it a little better, and then people won't complain.
Yes, and they have to stop with their hypocrisy on the 5
Mhm.
of, we only put things that matter. And here's a Jade and Bianca match that nobody cares about, and it's probably just going to be filled with Jade Cargill fucking botching around the ring anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah, man. So that's the news for WWE and them being happy with their 5-match premium live event cards. And with that, the moving on here, man, to the Bash in Berlin predictions. And actually, speaking of that match, we have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn taking on Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Who do you got for this one, man?
Man, it's a tough one, man. It's gonna be an absolute actually here, man. But I think I'm gonna have to give it to Jade and Bianca. I mean, fucking, is it any less obvious?
Yeah, I mean, this basically tells me we put the titles on Unholy Union for the summer to give them a win at Clash
Mhm.
at the Castle. We'll keep it on them through the summer so it doesn't look like we just, put it on them just so they could win it in Scotland. And then we're gonna put it on Jade and Bianca. This is so obvious. This is going right back to Jade and Bianca. And they're probably going to continue to be put on these premium live event cards for no reason whatsoever other than the typical Jade and Bianca pity match. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that is that. And yeah, I'm going with Jade and Bianca. The next match for the WWE Championship, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Who you got, bro?
Man, it's a tough one, man. I mean,
Yeah, I know, right?
anybody could be going at any point, so it's a tough one. But I
Is
think
it really?
Cody might.
Is this the
Oh yeah, dude.
Is it is this Cody and The Rock? Oh no, this is Cody and Kevin Owens. Oh, gotcha.
Never mind. Obviously, it's gonna be
Oh.
fucking Cody.
Oh, yeah, right. Man, I thought it was The Rock, bro. When you said this is unpredictable, man, I thought it was The Rock. Never
That was
mind,
the
it's
line.
Kevin Owens. False alarm. False alarm. Um man, could this one really go to Owens, man? I'm kind of thinking this one could go to Owens, dude. Hmm.
You never know.
I'm going to go with the unpredictable guy here. I'm going to go with Cody. I know a lot of people aren't
Mm,
expecting Cody to win. I'm going to go out
no,
on a limb, and I think I'm going to be the only person that predicts Cody here.
imagine predicting Cody.
Man, you did? You predicted
Yeah,
Cody? Oh,
I had to, man.
well, we might be
I
losing
think
some money on it tomorrow night, man. I'm
or
going with
might have.
Cody.
You never know.
Going with Cody. The next match, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, the Terror Twins versus Judgment Day. Versus the Judgment Day. Versus Dominic Mysterio and the Women's World Champ, Liv Morgan. Um,
I think the Terrorist one got this one.
I actually think Rhea and Damian are gonna get their comeuppance at Bad Blood. I think Dom and
Mm,
Liv are gonna win this one. I'm gonna go ahead and say Dom and Liv Get the win here.
Hmm. Okay, I could see it. I could see either way. I think I'm still go with fucking street trash. No, not actual street trash. The ones they actually called street trash.
Yeah,
Fucking Terror Twins.
definitely. Yes. I think. I could overall, man. I could see Dom and Liv winning because I could see that being the gateway to Rhea getting the match at
Yeah.
Rhea and Damien. I could see that get being. Yeah, I could see that being the reason why they get the match at Bad Blood. But I'm gonna go ahead and say Dom and Liv win by Judgment Day distraction.
Cool. Yeah, we'll definitely see.
And with the next match, we got the strap match. CM Punk. Um,
I mean,
see,
at the end of the day, Yelp and kick out out their group. Still wants to look back.
very true. The strap match. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Did you guys see the picture?
No.
They're friends,
Oh
dude.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Keith is good.
Dude,
Yeah. This is like dog.
you
This is
guys
WWE. They don't actually hate each other.
you guys complain when they're backstage fucking knocking in doors and fucking fighting each other, and you also complain when they're going over what they're going to do. What do you guys want? You guys want them to actually hate each other and want them to, you know, scream at each other on media scrums, or do you want them to actually work together and give us a very enjoyable feud? Okay, I'm going to expand on this further on Unscripted past Bash in Berlin.
Okay.
This feud is getting this feud has something missing. And I'm going to tell you
Mhm.
what it is. And I need it expanded on, and this is why I'm going to hone in on this after Bash in Berlin if they don't
Mhm.
expand on it. Drew McIntyre talks so much about what Punk did to him when he first got hired in WWE. If they don't expand on that, I'm going to be really fucking
This feud
pissed.
dead. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be really pissed because you're leaving a lot on the table, and all that's been fought over here is the bracelet. I need McIntyre to tell me, yes, Logan, thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one feeling
Yeah.
that way. Drew talked so much about you did such and such to me when I was breaking in the business and blah, blah, blah. We have not had that expanded on at all. I need that to be
Like
expanded on
what
because that is new material.
exact that shit that we haven't heard that I actually care about. At the
Yes.
end of the day, I don't care about that fucking bracelet or whatever. I don't. I want to hear about their past with each other,
Yes.
and that's what I want to see expanded on.
Yeah, and I mean at the end of the day, the bracelet is good and all, and it's nice, it's simple
Mhm.
storytelling, but at the end of the day, you can't drag this on for another month about the bracelet. I'm sorry. The bracelet was good,
No.
building up to SummerSlam, it was simple, it was good. We cannot keep on with that. Please.
No. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna need them to expand on the personal stuff and what Drew is talking about when he talks about, and this is why I'm saying Punk wins here. I'm saying Punk wins this one, and I think we're gonna get the tie, and then we're gonna go to Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. I think Punk wins here, and it's gonna send Drew off on a spiral, and he's gonna end up going off about what you know Punk did to him when he was younger. So.
Exactly. I think so. I think Punk got this one to set up the final match at Bad Blood.
Definitely. So I'm going to go ahead and say Punk takes the strap match. And with this one, speaking of unpredictable, the World Heavyweight title, Gunther
Oh man,
versus Randy Orton.
who could take this one?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know, dude.
it's a pretty tough one. Might oh,
Oh, wow. Thinking.
gotta think. You know, I think might be just throwing my hand in there. Might not be possible, but I think Gunther was gonna retain.
What? Wow. Well, I'm going to have to agree with you, man. I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. Yes, Gunther is obviously retaining. With it, what I mean, if yeah, no, I mean, yeah,
I don't even think Orton.
Gunther. Period, as Bell says. Yes, this is a
Like that.
unanimous Gunther win, no question.
Like from the vibe I get from Orton, I think he's in the same boat as Cena. He doesn't even want the last fucking world title run. He just wants to be there. You know what I mean? So it's an obvious Gunther win.
Yeah, I could see Orton wanting it. I just don't
But it
think
won't be
Triple H is gonna give
big
it to
long.
him right now.
No, wouldn't be for long either.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. So Gunther Gunther's gonna win this match 100%, man. And yeah, that's it. So those are your predictions for WWE Bash in Berlin, which will be tomorrow night. Oh, very unpredictable card, Manager Logan. Very
Oh,
unpredictable
very
card.
head to toe predictable.
So yeah, man, those are your predictions and the preview for Bash in Berlin. It's gonna be a good card, man. I hope everything goes well, and obviously, we'll be here to talk about it, bro, because we will be here tomorrow night or tomorrow evening. If you're in the Central or time zone or whatever time zone you're in, if you're in the U.S., we'll be here in the evening, man. If you're in Germany, we'll be here at night. But yes, we will be live directly after Berlin. Bash in Berlin goes off the air with the post-show review, man, and we'll be talking all about it and giving our thoughts and whatnot, man. So yeah, man, that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this edition of the news. It has been always a pleasure for my Johnny.
And that's okay.
And that is going to do it for this edition of the news. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 229 of NHP. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. Again, join us here tomorrow night or tomorrow evening for the Bash in Berlin 2024 review right after the show goes off the air. Thank you guys so very much for joining us. And with that, man, thank you guys for everybody who came out, bro. Hunter, Logan, Bell, Durante. Thank you guys very much. Hope to see you guys tomorrow, man. And with that, please like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you all tomorrow night with the Bash in Berlin 2024 official show review.
Peace.